What's up, everybody? Part 2 of this video here. We are going to get to work drilling the holes in the handle that our handle scales will end up going on, and then we're going to flat grind, or surface grind rather, the blade. So let's go ahead and mark where we want our holes to be drilled for our handle scales. Let's see, probably do one right around here. Doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Just a rough estimate. One right here. Bring one right around here. And I believe I'm going to do a lanyard hole in this as well. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get these holes drilled out. The first thing we're going to want to do here, we're at our bench vise. The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to measure our pin material. This is what I'm going to be using to pin the handles together. So go ahead and get a measurement on that, and it is, as you can see, 3/16 inches. So perfect. I'm going to find a 3/16 inch drill bit and pop it in my bench vise here, and we will get to drilling. Alright, so as you can see, we've got a drill press vise on top here. Now you may not have this, and you know what, we'll go ahead and just not use it. It's not 100% necessary for this. It is nice to have them, but it's not 100% necessary. Now, I'm not entirely certain how sharp this drill bit is. It may not be all that sharp, but it's the only one I've got, so I'm going to go ahead and use it. You typically want to make sure you have a nice sharp drill bit for this. I'm going to raise this table up some so it's right where we're going to be drilling. Raise it a little more than that. There we go. Alright, let me go ahead and start drilling this. Now, a lot of people might put a drop of lubricant on this to help the blade cut a little bit better and keep from getting overheated, but we're just going to go ahead and drill and hope for the best. Again, don't forget your safety glasses, guys. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Now you're going to want to hold this blade down pretty tight because it can have the tendency to helicopter and spin around if the drill bit gets too good a hold on it. So I'm just going to kind of chicken peck this thing. Through on the first hole. Go ahead and move on to the second hole here, and hopefully that's in frame. Second hole's through. Go ahead and move on to the third hole. Get it just right there. Wanted to helicopter on me there for a second. Alright, so there's our first 3 handle holes done, and we'll go ahead and do a pilot hole down here for the lanyard hole as well. Maybe go a little off that mark. Not really a fan of where I put that. All right. Now, I'm going to end up reaming this out because it's going to need to be a little bit bigger for the material that I'm going to use for it. But that's something that can be done a little bit later on. For now, there we go. We've got all 3 holes. And we're going to move on to the next step. Back up a little bit. Whoop. Now we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be kind of surface grinding this to get some of that annealing off the blade, and also to get the blade a little bit flatter. And since I do not have a surface grinder, which would be awesome to have, I just don't have the funds for that. What we're going to have to do is we're going to take a magnet and our blade, and we're going to put them together just like that. Maybe slide that blade over so it's a little more centered. And then we are going to literally just put this on here on the platen, on the flat platen, and try to get this blade perfectly flat. So here we go. Again, as always, safety glasses are a must. Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Now, turn that off for a second. You can kind of see some of the dark spots on the blade. Those are spots that are lower than these spots. The spots that are more polished from this belt are obviously the higher spots. So you want to get that all perfectly flat, and that's what we're doing here. Getting there. Almost. Go ahead and dip that in some water. Pull it down a little bit. Getting pretty close. Alright, let's go ahead and take this off the magnet for a second. Clean it off in our water. Take a look. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. Still maybe a couple low spots. Focus a little bit more towards the tip here. Alright. Now, I think we've done a pretty good job on this side. It's not going to be perfect because, well, my platen's not perfect. I mean, there's kind of some higher spots and lower spots on my platen. It really needs to be resurfaced. But yeah, we'll go ahead and call that good enough for now on this side and flip over to this side. You can already tell this side's not quite as bad. A little low up here on the spine. Still got a little bit of a low spot right here. That looks pretty good. Go ahead and wash it all off. Alright, there we go. So there's the second side, and there's our first side. Now this should be pretty much relatively flat, so you don't have a lot of bowing in the blade or anything like that, high spots, low spots. You want it to be as flat as you can get it, so your grind on your bevels can be as even as possible. Now I don't have the equipment to make it perfect, but I do have the equipment to make it as perfect as I can make it, and that's what I'm here to do. So, all right. I think from here, there's two things you could do. You could go ahead and start roughing out handles and getting the handles situated. I usually like to wait till after heat treat. This is non-heat treated, so I'm not going to grind the bevels on this knife until it gets back from heat treat. But I do have another blade right here that I will be doing some bevels on, and I'll do a video on that. That will be the next video. But for now, we've got our blade blank drilled for the handles, and it's not perfect. I'm probably going to end up moving this hole over a little bit so I can get the spacing right between those. But we still have plenty of time to do all that. I'm not too concerned about it. But that's it, guys. The handle has been drilled, and it has now been surface ground to where it's going to be relatively flat. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next video. Take care.